Hey guys, how's it going? Just in Portage La Prairie, little city outside of Winnipeg. Nothing too big. I think there's like 100,000 people here, but there's enough stuff to not be too bored and stuff. But I don't know if you guys heard about that Nick Cannon thing the other day, where he's being called out for anti-Semitism, which is funny because all he said was he doesn't think the Ashkenazi Jews are the real Jews, and that obviously the black people or whatever, they're the real Jews, the real Israelites, blah blah blah, because apparently there was a lot of Africans in the Middle East. There's a lot of sub-Saharan Africans in the Middle East. I'm not saying there weren't any, but let's be realistic here, guys. Who was in that region of the world around that time? I'm not going to say it's these Ashkenazi Jews either, but that whole thing's pretty fucking complicated anyways once you get into it. But the one thing that the media wasn't talking about was his anti-white comments. How he said that we are practically animals, or we're closer to animals than, I don't know, black people because of the lack of our melanin or something. And that we're like, I saw another video guy, he's like, oh, because they have no melanin, their pineal gland is calcified, and you need melanin to have a soul, blah blah blah. A lot of black people believe this about white people, that we're soulless. That's why we like animals more, or something like that, because we're more like animals. I don't know, but just a lack of understanding of evolution. We're all fucking animals, you idiots. I'm just as much of an animal as you are. And a statement like, well, that race is closer to animals than we are, is just stupid. It's an inaccurate, uneducated statement about animals and evolution. But you see how the media, all they cared about was Nick Cannon's anti-Semitism. That's all they mentioned, right? That's all you see. It's not his anti-white comments, because you'll never see the media ever say something like anti-white, right? They'll always be, they'll ignore it. Like, what was it, the New York Times, I think it was, they promoted that one Asian girl, even though she said, horrible shit about white people. But either way, I'm for their freedom of speech. I'm for Nick Cannon's freedom of speech. I don't want him to get canceled because he doesn't like white people or thinks we're not human. That's his opinion. I'm fine with that. People want to keep giving him money, then you can give him money. Whatever you want to do, I don't give a fuck. Just have the same courtesy for me and my opinions that are not even close to as bad as that. I don't call black people fucking animals and this and that, even though there's a lot of fucking examples I can point to in the past month, where they're attacking white people or this or that, whatever. I can point to a lot of things, and that's just kind of a useless, pointless argument to get into with people, right? Oh, you're more animal than me. Oh, here, I'm gonna show you an article about white people doing something bad. Well, here's an article about black people doing something bad. See, it's just some stupid argument that we get into that leads to nowhere. Nothing good comes out of it whenever you start with that shit. But like I was saying, you don't see, the media didn't even talk about the anti-white comments, because obviously they are anti-white and they want this stuff being promoted. They want people to hate us. They want people to think of us as not human beings. They're trying to dehumanize specifically white men because they want us dead. They want us all gone. It's really that simple, It's really that fucking simple. They want us dead. And, the first step to genocide is to dehumanize people. It's to make them lesser than you. So people won't feel bad when they get hurt or killed. Like that one white woman who was killed because she said all lives matter and whatever. You see all these Black Lives Matter people on her on the remembrance page saying, "Good riddance, ha ha ha, this is what you get, you racist, blah blah blah," right? Because, saying all lives matter is now a horrible thing to say, when it's just a natural response, right? When somebody comes up to you and says Black Lives Matter, a regular person is going to be like, in their mind, they're going to be like, yeah, all lives matter, of course Black Lives Matter, right? But then they get all pissed off and they're like, oh no, why do you have to say all lives matter? Why can't you just say Black Lives Matter, blah? Because all lives matter, for fuck's sakes, man. But at the end of the day, do all lives matter? Nah, that's not true. There's a lot of lives that don't fucking matter. A lot of useless people that do absolutely nothing for society and whatever. And I'm not advocating you kill them and stuff like that. But if you just look at their life, they're pretty fucking useless. You can't really deny that. But you see who runs the media? Jewish people. It's pretty obvious. That's why they're all mad about what Nick Cannon said and what Ice Cube is saying. It's encouraging to see all this stuff going on right now with these black people online and kind of talking about Jewish this and that, right? They're still not my friends. They're still not my allies. All these people still think I'm not human. But at the very least, they're kind of helping to expose the control that the Jewish media has on everything, right? Because, if there was a white supremacy, if there was this and all this bullshit, the media would be mad about his anti-white comments. But they're not. They're only mad about the Jewish comments because, like I said, they run the media, they run the banks, they run everything. Not everything. Yes, there's some white people that are in bankers, and there's some white people that own real estate and whatever, but 90% of it, they're massively overrepresented in banking and the media, etc., even though they're only like 2% of the population in America or Canada or whatever, and even less than that on a global scale. But hopefully people start to wake up to this bullshit, wake up to who's trying to pit us against each other, like this whole Black Lives Matter thing, that's all it really is. It's just divisiveness. They say, oh, we're just trying to start a movement because we love black people and we want them to stop being shot by cops, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? The cops shoot everybody. And they abuse their power on fucking everybody. It's not just a black person problem, it's an everybody problem. But, they want to create this false narrative that in all white countries, black people are being oppressed by the white people. The other day there was, Toronto, I think it was, John A. Macdonald statues is being torn down or had paint thrown on it because he's the arbiter of residential schools, some ridiculous shit, but they're using this opportunity, COVID, this whole BLM thing, whatever, to just restructure society, restructure our economy, restructure pretty much everything, and try to make things more equitable, whatever, right? And they're using all this bullshit, this justification, and everybody's just kind of going along with it, and it's all going to backfire. All these things that they're doing for the black community and this and that. Less policing and all this shit. It's just gonna affect them more. More black people are gonna get killed and assaulted and raped by criminals because, they don't want anybody in there. They want more money to go to the community, whatever. I don't like the police. I don't like the monopoly of force. I'm an anarcho-capitalist, so, I would be for defunding the police and all this shit. But the only problem is these people don't want to give everybody gun rights, right? I would defund the police and try to set up some more of a privatized thing, as well as allowing people to have gun rights. Let people defend themselves, protect themselves. There you go. It's a huge lot of the budget. You wouldn't need to spend a lot of money on policing if people were just allowed to defend them fucking selves. But you know, that's what they could do to the black community. Just give all these grannies and these innocent people guns that are living in the ghettos. And you know what? Why aren't these, you know, black people and all these Black Lives Matter people, why aren't they going and burning down the crack houses in their communities? Why aren't they burning down, you know, these drug houses and stuff, these criminals' houses? Nah, they're gonna go for the stores and these other businesses, whatever, which aren't innocent necessarily either. But I mean, like, come on, guys, if you really want to improve your fucking community, why don't you go for the goddamn criminals in your community? You know, they're letting you burn down buildings and shit. This is your opportunity to go for the fucking bad guys and start burning down their houses. But is that gonna happen? Nah. It's just gonna be more of a anti-white bullshit they're gonna be promoting because of this. And, you know, a lot of white people are gonna be fired and gonna lose their jobs, positions of power, and whatever, and they're gonna be replaced by black people. And then or minorities and natives, and everything's gonna go to shit. And then it's still gonna be white people's fault afterwards, because just like I saw an article about a month ago in Africa. The guy's like, your economy's doing shit, and he's like, the British didn't teach us how to run our economy, so it's their fault that we're failing. It's like, okay, buddy, they left you. I'm not saying colonization was a great thing, but they did leave you with a lot of fucking infrastructure and shit that was not there before. So, you know, did they have to hold your hand for 20, 30 years? And even if they did, it would still be terrible. And then they would still be complaining that, oh, these white people are controlling things, blah, 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 blah. Right? But, oh, the world is fucked right now, guys. I don't know what to say about it. Hopefully things improve. You know, I think they will improve, you know, eventually. You know, I was thinking about this morning, how lucky I am to live in Canada, and how even though all this bullshit's going on right now, I still would not move anywhere else, you know? Because Canada is just a beautiful place, man. We got so much nature, so much that other countries do not have. You know, I was watching these YouTubers and they're survivalists. I'll try to put a link in the description eventually. Smooth Fix or whatever. They're from Ireland, but in Ireland it's like deforested a lot of places, right? So, you know, they're doing a little survival thing in a little patch of woods that they have, a little bit of river that they have in the woods, and they use it to its fullest. And they're like, you know, we don't have a lot of woods in Ireland and stuff anymore. It's clear cut, whatever. But Canada, we have so much. We have so many woods. You know, I go to my dad's. He's got like 20, 30 acres fucking of woods that I can just go and explore and exploit and live in, you know. Like, the other people don't have that option that don't live in Canada. People in Europe, they don't really have that option to go into the woods and be more self-sustainable if things do fucking go to shit. But we do. Canada's a big place, beautiful place. Lots of beautiful, great nature, and we got to be thankful for what we have. You know, the world is looking bad right now, but, you know, just be strong, you know, just be more self-reliant. Don't think the government or anybody else is going to help you. Always rely upon yourself, even when there are people there to help you, like your parents or your friends and stuff. Always assume that they won't be there. So then that will always put you in a position to be prepared for things, because a lot of people, like the government, these government programs they have, they lull people into complacency. And then when these government programs fail, free healthcare fails, now everybody's fucked because they didn't have a plan, or they anticipated things to be there for them. When, you know, things haven't really changed since the beginning of time. You know, you are on your own. You know, you need to look out for yourself and your family, and that's the most important thing. And, you know, everybody else can just fuck off. But that's all I pretty much had to say, guys. I gotta get back to work. Have a good day. Take it easy.